It was not enough for United States of America to mentally and physically torture, to destroy me financially for over a decade or till age 35. Something about what you will learn in continuation. But the system really wanted for me to be dead at all costs, or basically disabling me completely with obsession of creating such severe health consequences as to which testifying you have just witnessed. The consequences basically were outrageous. From abnormal dry mouth to severe shaking, which have taken often, and it's during which seemed as if my entire body was connected to 220 volts when waking up next to my ex-wife already months before even accepting this new job. Yes, they started with those, sipping the medicines already months before that. And, well, let's continue. Upon a new job, once I have taken this new job, or what was the last job in the United States of America that have taken place, my hours of sleep have greatly deteriorated. They lowered anywhere from what used to be healthy 8 to 9 hours sleep per day to what was the most 1 to 2 hours per night. Yes, 1 to 2 hours per night, leaving me to wake up every 10 minutes in unbearable pain. During which oftentimes half of my body was completely paralyzed. Hands would be basically frequently paralyzed. They would be numb. I wouldn't even feel them. I would move them like this. It still happens occasionally. And body alone, my back, it would be twisted, something like that, in unbearable pain, something that you can only see with people who suffer from epilepsy attacks. And this would take place about just every 10 minutes. It was in intervals on every 10 minute cycle, and it would take place basically every time when I would relax my muscles or would fall in that 10-minute cycle sleep, as I was so exhausted. These things went on for months, and you can only imagine what accumulates with your body after a few months of such an unimaginable situation. You're basically falling in coma, and every 10 minutes, and waking up every 10 minutes from that coma with unbearable pain. As soon as you start to sleep, relax your muscles, pain, unbearable pain comes to you, and that's how you wake up again, screaming, yelling, twisted. I think only the people who have something unimaginable, I believe only people with severe back problems can understand what that is, really. I was really a walking dead man, man who was completely exhausted without almost any sleep at all. And after this job, I was again unemployed for about 7 months, or forced to simply leave United States of America after being there for about 11 and a half years, within which 5.5 years I have spent forcefully unemployed, completely against my will. Because folks, you see, this is the idea of this unemployments. Forceful unemployments is basically to drive individual insane and have him, her accept any job that comes along Um, in other words, neurosis, psychosis, creating crisis in individual will basically establish grounds for government to be able to force people into employments that are completely non-related to their education, to their professions, type of employments, basically to drive people literally insane, and using that insanity to kill them. Well, yeah, medical examinations were not accessible as I was not able to afford myself healthcare coverage. That one was only provided for me, or granted me opportunity for a year and a half during an entire 11 and a half years of stay in the United States of America. When complaining to local workforce, trying to obtain help, from employment agency, I was simply diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and that by those who have no jurisdiction to decide about, someone's health problems, or somebody who's completely unqualified. It's just enough it's a government worker. And yes, the most interesting was that when complaining to, on top of that, I did not only complain to local workforce or employment agency, to government in other words, about my situation, but I was in a desperate help. I submitted help inquiries to international organizations for human rights such as Amnesty International, United Nations, basically organizations which I have supported in the past. They always ask for help. They talk about how much they help people and things. But once you basically request for help, which I did in 2004, 2006, I have never received any answer. I was never ever considered at all. Anyhow, why haven't I paid my own health coverage? Well, because my hours, on average, when pre-calculated, not that they were not cents an hour, but basically the average to cent per hours. I was paid by far less than Chinese people, much less than people who had absolutely no education at all. I simply had my ex-wife one time at hospital, who was afterwards, I understand. I don't know if that is true or not, but I was the one who actually had to intermediate between her and insurance company, or at least perhaps government have me believe that was the case. However, the government have pledged that she owes $10,000 for no more than 3 days of stay in the hospital. Do you understand now why I haven't conducted examinations, why I haven't gone ahead and financed those examinations by myself?